fucking DeBarge family, that should die under the jail. All being protected by Clive Davis. I wonder why.
Jaguar Wright claims she exposed parts of 50 Cent's Diddy documentary that never made it to the final cut. She says the omitted material was far darker than what's streamed, alleging that key names, footage, and context were intentionally removed to soften the impact and hide the full story from the audience's view entirely.
Was there anything at all that you were watching this documentary that was new information to you?
New?
Yes.
No.
From the history of Puff, him coming up, anything new?
No. There was nothing new for me. There was nothing new. Isn't just as bad as Diddy. 50 actually has a heart. He's a lovable thug. You know? Somebody should ask Soulja Boy how loving he is. He's very loving. All that time they spent together and the way he believed in him. Oh my God. They were almost inseparable. Truth is, Curtis is a swish. Been a swish. For many years. Everyone knows it. The reason why I haven't got behind Curtis Jackson is because the only reason he wants them out of the way is so he can take...
If you clicked on this video, chances are you've heard that Jaguar Wright is speaking out about what she believes was left out of 50 Cent's Diddy documentary. And your curiosity makes sense. While the public is focused on what did appear in Diddy, The Reckoning on Netflix, Jaguar is discussing the material she claims never made it to the screen. According to her, the most explosive details weren't removed for being irrelevant. She says they were cut because they raised uncomfortable questions about powerful figures. In this video, you'll hear several key points Jaguar insists were omitted. First, she brings up Clive Davis, noting that his absence from the documentary stood out to her and questioning why few people are willing to address him at all. Next, we'll look at what she says was missing from the coverage of the Lil Rod lawsuit, including her belief that Stevie J's name should have come up but didn't. Finally, Jaguar shares her own dramatic claims connecting Diddy to the Illuminati and what she describes as spiritual warfare far beyond the music business. She also offers theories about why 50 Cent may have chosen to stay silent on certain topics.
And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson. They should check the EPA report since he's been there and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios for cheap cash. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. I just wonder how you like that man I sent you. Because he really didn't think you was gonna go for him. You, Curtis. You better do right by Shreveport, or I'm gonna let everybody know that Diddy doo-wop bop ain't the only taste you got.
Jaguar Wright keeps raising one major question: Clive Davis. She notes that he once held a controlling 51% stake in Bad Boy Records, which would have given him significant influence. Yet, in a 4-part documentary centered on accountability, she says he appears for barely half a minute. To her, that feels unusual unless there was a deliberate choice behind it. Jaguar suggests he may simply be distancing himself from Diddy, or being shielded from deeper scrutiny.
Recently walking into somewhere and they asked him about Diddy and he said who? Is that old age, or does he not, they're not in the same world? Or they're in the same world, but they're not cohorts?
He's definitely been his ass.
Oh. Okay.
I would call that the same world.
Okay. Pretty
And
intertwined.
for him to say Diddy who is his way of saying, I'm not talking about Sean anymore. Maybe he's been playing cozy with the other Sean. Maybe he just got him another Sean.
When Jaguar was asked which celebrity left her with the worst impression, she didn't hesitate. She named Clive Davis. She described him as extremely powerful and carrying what she felt was a dark influence within the music industry. Jaguar also claimed, without evidence, that he was linked to several tragic events.
Who would sign to Clive Davis after we all know what he did to Whitney Houston? And praise, Clive is my everything. Clive is my everything. I'd be nothing without him, you're fucking right. you're still nothing, even with him. Like, why does nobody want to be honest about this? Why is everybody so hot? Why do we want to believe? Yeah, she sacrificed her family, and I ain't saying allegedly. I'm going to go talk to that. I've always wanted to talk.
No one is saying Jaguar's allegations are proven, but they do raise a bigger question. Why does someone with that level of industry influence appear so briefly in a documentary claiming to reveal the full story? Jaguar believes the answer is simple. Mentioning Clive Davis would mean addressing the deeper power structure behind Bad Boy.
Who's the worst celebrity like that you've been around is like the most full of sin? I know no sin is greater, but like just was like, damn, this
Clive Davis. Devil incarnate. Clive Davis. He Janis Joplin. He blackmailed Betty Wright so she wouldn't tell anybody that he Janis Joplin. He killed Whitney Houston.
Jaguar also points to moments and connections she says people avoid discussing. She questions why certain powerful figures were never mentioned or scrutinized, even though they were present during major events in the industry. To her, these omissions aren't random. She believes the silence is intentional.
I was a whole freak.
You think Clive put him on to all
I know. Clive, that's what he do. Queen Clive. Long may she reign. In hell.
When 50 Cent
Don't nobody want to talk about why R. Kelly's bus was parked in Clive Davis's driveway, why his tour bus was parked in Clive Davis's driveway at the house where the shit went down between Chris and Rihanna. Don't nobody want to talk about why it was filled with video girls who were being trafficked. And he was never questioned by Me Too. Why ain't nobody from Me Too saying anything? They had so much to say about Harvey Weinstein, who's now all his charges is being dropped. So much for their investigation. Guess it was a little paper thing.
She also mentions Gone Deal, describing him as a stabilizing force who often prevented tense situations from getting out of control during the Bad Boy era. According to Jaguar, his influence kept many problems from escalating. But once he was no longer around, everything shifted, and she believes that without his balance, unchecked power quickly took over.
Things I could tell you. There were a lot of fights at those old rap shows. What I can say was, he was the peacemaker. Period. Didn't nobody want to feel what he had to give. And he was never quick to give it. He gave a word, and that was understood. And it was the confidence that was built around his character that made Bad Boy so feared. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody want what he had or the people he could call to back up what he said. That gave Bad Boy a presence not to be fucked with. You know, Death Row had Suge. Suge was the CEO. Diddy wasn't that.
Yeah.
But he had Gene, see. And Gene kept him honest. Like, you gotta remember, all of these people been knowing each other since high school. We talking back in the day. You know, even out, like, people don't even realize, like, I'll Be Sure and Pete Rock, they're best friends, yo. They went to high school together. They've been best friends since 10th grade. People change a lot when money and circumstances come into the way. How a person acted in the 10th grade is gonna be very different than how they act with $500 million.
and an axe to grind. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different person.
Jaguar Wright also highlighted footage of Diddy and Lil Rod spending time together during what she called a strange, confusing period. She described the dynamic as unsettling, especially when combined with voice messages that, in her view, sounded overly personal and inappropriate for two grown men.
God, did you see him with Lil Rod working out
Oh man, that was.
while they were on the come down from all of the pharmaceuticals and all of the weirdo behavior and all of the alcohol, watching TD Jakes?
Yeah,
That didn't look weird.
it's very weird. The voice memos alone. I miss your legs.
Your limp leg. Your
Yeah,
limp
your
leg.
lip leg. Damn.
Not legs. Your limp leg. L-E-G.
Yeah. Jeez.
What straight grown man says that to another grown man? Because it sounds like the leg that he was referring to was his pee-pee.
When Jaguar discusses Lil Rod's allegations, she says this is where things become especially disturbing. According to the lawsuit, Lil Rod described nights involving heavy drinking, followed by sudden blackouts and waking up with no memory of what occurred. Jaguar argues that this alone should have alarmed viewers, yet the documentary moved past it far too quickly.
That's as wild as it gets, man. There's so much left
Not
unsaid.
just wake up with Diddy next to him. Wake up sore. But I'm tripping, all right? I'm tripping. I mean, that's what the whole world went around saying. I'm tripping. Okay.
When you see the Eric Sermon discussion about Misa,
Mhm.
and it seems like Diddy's just out there to take everyone's girl. It seems like you got our.
When the documentary turns to Kim Porter, Jaguar says it failed her entirely. Kim wasn't given her own voice or narrative. Instead, someone else spoke on her behalf, which Jaguar found both strange and unfair, especially given how significant Kim was in Diddy's life.
They didn't portray her at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's the thing. They didn't portray her at all. She was spoken for by Kalima. That was interesting to watch, you don't think? Kalima's testimony? She was probably the most pitiful witness they brought up to speak about all of this in the entire thing. Kalima?
Wait, why you say that? She was emotional. She was.
Emotional? That's what you call it?
That's what I'm trying to call it.
Capricorn Clark was emotional. I'll give her emotion. I'm sitting there looking at someone, in my opinion, who appears to be struggling with a substance issue, trying not to fall apart on camera. Meanwhile, nobody paying attention to the fact that she's sitting there afraid to really say anything at all because she's in the middle of a custody battle. And she's trying to get her kids back. And she's got to be careful of whatever she says because it could make it impossible for her to get her kids back. Did nobody pay attention to that?
Yeah, no, she said she wanted $5K from Diddy, and
She wanted $5K from her former bandmate and a billionaire. And he wouldn't even give her $5K to help her.
From there, Jaguar raises another major question. Why were certain people never mentioned? She specifically points to Stevie J, saying his absence is hard to ignore. According to her, Stevie J lived in the same house where much of the alleged activity took place and was one of Diddy's closest producers for years, yet his name never appears.
Nobody's talking about who her husband is and who her husband is to Diddy. He's one of Diddy's #1 minions.
Oh yeah, no, that's news.
He's a loyalist. He is a Diddy doo-wop-bop. Kalina's also bisexual, so I'm finding it kind of interesting that she didn't see anything, she wasn't around anything, she didn't know about anything, and this is not me putting anything crazy on her. This is exactly what she said when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Stevie J, who was also not mentioned at all during this documentary. Because Stevie J was living at the Star Island house. Tell me something, how do you have all of that stuff about Little Rod and there's no...
Jaguar doesn't think that omission was accidental. To her, it looked like someone was intentionally taken out of the story.
Because there was some of the footage that Little Rod has shared with this documentary that he shared with nobody else that he did an interview with, and none of that made it into the trial. There's images of him with French Montana and the Diddler on the yacht.
Yeah.
But nothing of Stevie J. Surgically removed. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. See Stevie J not around?
Not at all. Not at all. One of Diddy's main producers throughout the years, and I'm not sure. I haven't bothered to check because I never really had any need or want to care to pay attention to the Love album. Stevie J don't have no credit on that project at all. Heard some of the girls that, hooked up with Diddy throughout the years, and when they would come to his house and they would walk in the door and he would ask them, so how do you feel? You made it. Like just being around him. But then again, when you listen to some of the way that he was referring to himself, like talking about he can only compare himself to the Son of God and it's been so long. So I forgot how to get to my tone and I've been rapping so long and listening to myself that I forgot how to be myself. And it's like watching, I don't want y'all sitting here looking like watching Jesus walk on water, learning how to walk on water. Like,
yeah, no. Even the fact that he told everyone, y'all are rock stars, y'all are hot. I'm the level of hot. So he's saying, don't ever think you're bigger than me when I'm in the room. I'm like, just that thought process is.
No, just not even that. He was like, y'all hot and I'm lukewarm. Y'all not don't think I'm gonna sit here and let y'all be hot while I'm lukewarm. That's what he said. So basically what he was saying is y'all not doing enough to turn me up. Don't think that I'm gonna let y'all look good and y'all don't work harder at making me look good. But he's referring to himself as God? As the Son of God? Like, I don't know what people...
According to Jaguar, Diddy isn't the mastermind people assume. She believes he's a pawn, someone being used within a much larger system.
Did what they needed to do in this documentary. The whole objective of this documentary was to blame it all on Diddy. The devil made me do it, blame it all on Diddy, and the rest of the industry is nothing like this. Like when Curtis Jackson sat there in his interview with Robin and sat there and said, I did this because I don't want people thinking that the hip hop community is okay with this kind of behavior. I don't want them thinking that, we're just going to be silent while all of this is going on. Like, we're okay with this kind of behavior. And my thing is huh? So now you speaking for all of hip hop, and all of hip hop is uncomfortable with this. You want to know the one thing that I'm finding also very interesting that nobody's paying attention to? The presence of that pyramid. That the same thing that the Rock Nation likes to put up, the same hand symbol that, the sororities and the fraternities like to use. I'm not going to emulate it because you know exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
The pyramid sign that Diddy was wearing that around his neck. You wanna know what I found funny? That there were a bunch of YouTubers that were at that courthouse that were wearing that same, it was a much smaller version, but that same symbol.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the part of this story that makes it possible for people, I think, to graze over the reality of all that's going on. If you just look at it from the salacious celebrity stuff, from pop culture media, so-called this new media, and I'm really not liking that term, this new media, because what it really sounds like is the name of a gang. Like the media is media. Because I'm looking at the people that are falling under it, and they're all the same people that are involved with, creating these propaganda campaigns. But that's exactly what Diddy was saying at the beginning of the documentary. We need somebody that is proficient, or fluent in being able to spin propaganda and narrative.
She describes the entire situation as spiritual warfare. And from that perspective, she argues you can't place all the blame on Diddy alone.
Look at it from the face value aspect of it, that's one thing. But if you look to the spiritual side of it, it's completely different. It unveils a much deeper agenda, because for those who, it's funny, people like to talk about God and they like to throw God's name around and they like to talk about their religious and they like to talk about this and they like to talk about that, but then they don't want to acknowledge the spiritual warfare aspect of all of this that's involved. Because if you're only looking at this as freaky behavior and this, that, and the other, then that's perfectly fine. But if you take it and you flip it on the other side and you look at it as spiritual warfare, it casts a much bigger net and a much bigger light on everything. You can't just put it all on Diddy.
And the most striking part of these allegations isn't that Jaguar Wright made them. It's that one of Diddy's former close friends, Mark Curry, backed them up. When the discussion shifted to Kim Porter, his tone shifted too. For him, this wasn't speculation.
Do you think he had anything to do with Kim Porter passing?
I'll tell you this. For the 16th, it's in my new book. You remember when they say Cassie said that her friend got dangled over the balcony?
Mm-hmm.
It was on the 16th. And on the 18th, Kim Porter passed. 2 days, something like that. What could have been going on in that house in Covesville on Wilshire at Cassie's new condo would make him want to dangle, or even let it be said that he did dangle, because we don't,
Allegedly.
It's allegedly said that he dangled. So I'm like, damn, so dangled over the balcony, that means it had to have been an argument about something. Now, Cassie said in the interview, I pay attention to the male escort. I'll unalive you. I said, wow, she's a killer. Then she said that her and Kim didn't get along. Kim knew that she didn't like her and she didn't like Kim. It was a real jealous thing. You know what I'm saying? Because see, Puff, when Kim moved to Los Angeles, Puff moved behind her, right? Chasing her back, put her in the house. He bought the house, put her in it. And then now the original beef was because he had her pregnant and had somebody else pregnant. Sarah was pregnant. At the same time, Kim was pregnant with twins. So she was like, nigga, you ain't gonna have the whole world pregnant at once. So she's like, I'm getting away from you with this weasel, right? So she's gonna leave him. Then Cassie just comes around. Then he moves Cassie to Wilshire. So she like, damn, nigga, you done moved out here to me, and you done moved out here too. And I'm trying to get away from.
That was the turning point. Kim decided she was finished and tried to move forward with her life. But even then, she couldn't completely distance herself from him. When Kim passed away, the official cause was listed as pneumonia. Mark said that explanation never entirely made sense to him.
16, the thing that I really want to know is, I'm sure we all want to know. One, you're unalive a man and you didn't like her, and 2 days prior or a few days prior, there was a big argument in your house, and 2 days later, this is what happened. Somebody please explain this to me. Somebody please explain this to me. I mean, because when you got pneumonia and you got money, guess what you can do?
You can get rid of it.
Yeah. You don't have pneumonia. Right? Pneumonia, usually, I thought pneumonia has something to do, like a lot of people who had a virus, one of those viruses, they usually be pneumonia would take them out. Pneumonia, right? Mucus buildup.
Magic.
Mucus is the #1 killer of people. People don't know it. And so mucus buildup.
Thank you, Mark. I see that almost every day.
That's right. You gotta keep that stuff right. So then you look at pneumonia, you look at the things that come, the underlying things that come with it. You're like, wow, this gotta be a little bit deeper. You know, plus a lot of people move to Los Angeles once they find out certain things, because Los Angeles is a great place to be to get treated. People went to his parties and said they caught something. You know, there's one dude right now, Cassie running from him right now.
She avoiding the lawsuit.
And she doing the TK. She doing TK like a motherfucker. She running.
Do you think she should have been charged as a co-conspirator?
I ain't never understand none of them charges, because I'd be like, damn, I used to do the same shit. You know, so I say never put my hand on no one, but I bought some girls, I bought some stuff before, I bought some coochie. That shit. Even in a regular relationship, you don't even know it. You buying it. You buying it regardless.
You paying for it either way.
Paying for it anyway, though. So I could never say he's wrong for anything like that. But the only thing I say wrong for is just not knowing when to put a cap on this shit, man. This guy, it's enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Because if this up right here, like when you get to the point where you be like, I enjoy it, you're thinking you be like,
you're sick.
You sick. That means you enjoy humiliating people. Same way you want to be put on little clothes.
Damn.
All of these allegations being left out of the Diddy documentary is shocking. So you have to wonder why 50 chose not to include them. Was he protecting someone? Was something else going on? Share your thoughts in the comments below.